Hi guys, it's Belle here and I'm coming on with today's video. First, happy December 20th. So here's my little advent calendar and number 20 is... Where is number 20? Please tell me I haven't opened it already. Hold on guys. Oh, it's right here. Sorry, I couldn't see it there. Let's open it up. There's today's image. Again, I know I'm a bit behind. Firstly, welcome. And I'm going to be doing the 18th prompt on Remember, Plaid polka dots, please touch. This is a collaboration between Barbara at 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel. I will leave the links to their channels down below, so please check that out and please put in the hashtag if you want to see what everyone's doing. I know I'm a few days behind. I'm actually filming this the day it's got to go up. Yeah, my hold on guys. Okay, so yeah, my sweet kitty Topaz, who some of you will know because she pops in and out of the videos quite a lot. She's 11.5 years old. She unexpectedly fell quite seriously ill at the weekend, and she is home with us, but she's requiring a lot of care, and she also has to be kept isolated because of the nature of the illness from the other kittens. And she's a very, very social cat, and it's distressing anyway because she's very, very, very ill. We're trying to stay positive. I'm going to leave it at that. She's very ill and she doesn't like to not be around us. So we're kind of spending a lot of time with her one-on-one. And obviously as we come out, we have to disinfect and make sure the kittens aren't anywhere near, and before we don't touch them before. Anyway, we're not quite sure what it is, but the vet thinks it's a certain thing. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it, but that is mainly because we'll get upset on camera. And you did not tune in to see that, especially those of you who are new or haven't watched a lot. So let's get on with that. But that's why I'm a bit behind, and the prompts will be backwards and forwards, and I haven't done a flip through of my December daily because I need everything needs catching up with, because obviously she's a bit of a priority at the moment. So polka dots and plaid. So when I heard this, I thought I don't really have any plaid. The nearest I have is this kind of really bright red and white checkered fabric. So what I did was I also looked for polka dots. I had lots of different types of polka dots. I really like this fabric. It's sort of really regular polka dots. It's like artistic abstract polka dots. And then I found this great piece. This is obviously a polka dot piece of scrap fabric that I had been trying out threads and stitches and all sorts on. And I just really like it, so we're going to use that. So what I did was, obviously these are quite grungy colours, so I thought we'd go down a grungy gothic kind of sort of vibe, not completely gothic. And so I took that fabric here and I used, I don't even know if you can see the sparkle, I used my Distress Stain Oxides Black Soot and Vintage Photo, and I also put a little bit of the mica Iron Gate on there, inked it, left it to dry. I'm not even going to iron it. This fabric does not rip and tear, so it's very, very frayed. So what I thought I wanted to do, this is really random, but I want to make a fabric flip, with interactive elements in a sense, because when I think of Please Touch Me, fabric for me and texture, if you've been with me a while or if not, you will know that my journals often include a lot of texture and a lot of fabric. If you're new here, go check some of those out and you'll see what I mean. So I wanted to make a fabric flip with fabric because it's a fabric flip. I am so sorry guys, I am really not with it very much. And I wanted to do that, but I want to make it with a few interactive elements. So I want to make a pocket on it, and I want to make a paper pad. So let's have a look. So firstly, in a normal journal, mine would be about 8 and a bit. So I want to make this so it goes over a page, but not all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to cut it at about 7, which thankfully is along this line, so I can kind of cut it 7 inches, that is, if you are wondering. And my pages are normally, I would never normally do something above 5. I'm going to cut some of these because as much as I love fraying, that's a lot of fraying. I don't mind it so much on the top. Which side has the sparkle? I know I did sparkle. I don't know. Anyway, and then we're going to have this basically almost the same length. And I wanted to use these lighter colours rather than these darker ones. I thought these worked better. I think this does fray, so we'll find out. Yes, lovely, lovely. So let's fray a little bit of this at the edges. So yes. Anyway, I'll probably do a community post to keep some of you guys updated, because I know that my cats are often in my videos. So quite a few of you, if you've been with me for a while, would have seen all 3 of my cats sometimes at the same time in the same video. I can't have this wider than 5. Right now it's just 5 and a bit, so I'm going to move that over a little bit more. That's because this is wonky, but I kind of want it wonky because I don't mind if it sticks out of a book a little bit. Let me check this out. Yeah, that's about 5. So with fabric flips, obviously, I'm going to be doing some sewing. You don't have to, but I would suggest you glue really well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stitch down here. I'm not going to stitch across the top yet, but I am going to stitch down here. And I think that's the only bit I'm going to stitch down to begin with. I'm going to do that. But before I do that, so I've got some of this fabric as well. A friend made me something and sent some extra fabric, and I thought that kind of goes. I am going to make the pocket out of this, and if I'm honest, I cannot remember. I need this pocket slightly smaller than this. I cannot remember if this frays or not, so I guess we're about to find out. Oh, yes, but my goodness, did that take some strength. Either that or I'm just very tired. So this is going to be the fabric for my pocket. Obviously, it's not going to be this wide. Wait a minute, because this needs to be on top. Oh, well. It doesn't matter. This is quite a thin pocket now. Hold on, I have this bit of fabric. Let's do this one instead. So you will have to forgive me. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh. That's basically almost perfect. You will have to forgive me if I'm a bit discombobulated in this video. It is what it is. But I did want to get this up while I have a little bit of time. Yes, so we're going to do that. We've got a lot of fraying on that side. So do I want the fraying? I think I want it this side, only because if this is a pocket, that's got to go in and out. I don't want it that wide though. But I don't, oh, I'm worried about ripping and tearing that and making it even smaller. Oh well, I'm going to risk it. Watch it not even rip now in this way. Oh my goodness me. That fabric is, wow, quite strong. So this is going to be the pocket. It's going to be a side pocket, so going in this way. And then this fun piece here that I am literally going to do nothing else to, like no more stitching or anything. Because, you know, it's got all this weird and wonderful stuff. This is going to go on top, but this is going to be a pad. So what I need to do is I need to stitch down here. Then I need to stitch this pocket on these 3 sides. I'm not going to stitch this yet because we need to put the paper underneath. So I am going to go and do that and I will be back. Okay guys, so there we go. So I've stitched down the back here. Now the reason I stitched these two together, because you could say, well, once that's stitched on, it holds it down, is because when we're putting something in and out of the pocket, I didn't want this to be open on that side as we're putting it in, because it'll get stuck in between and then sort of come out the back way. So I stitched that down so that it won't interfere with whatever I'm putting in the pocket. Now I've stitched this and it's a bit wonky, yes, but that's the whole point. Like, everything on this is frayed and wonky, and I don't care that it's not flat. The other thing I really wanted to do, I don't know how this is going to work if I'm honest, but I wanted to do this, is I wanted to kind of open this up a little bit. So I'm going to use, probably not good to do it on paper, I'm going to use my craft knife to just kind of put a bit of a hole in this. I want it to be a bit frayed and have some bits and everything. And what I'm going to do with this, so you can see that now. You see that? You'll also have to excuse my nails. I've obviously been very busy with my kitty and everything. Everything was put to a stop for a little while. I actually want to do a little bit of stitching on here. Again, when I think of touch, I think of different textures. I've got some floss here. It is not in black. It is in a very dark brown. And I am going to use maybe 3 strands. If I can get 3 strands on here. Yeah, that's what I want to use. We will see. Oh my gosh, I am all thumbs today. So I do have some thoughts in my head that I may share some of my cross stitching projects, like my works in progress, with you next year, because obviously I do cross stitch. But they won't be full-length videos or anything like that. I might do a few about my cross-stitch project, but they'll probably be like in shorts or something. But let me know down below if that's something you'd be interested in just seeing, you know, just keeping up with my work in progress. I'm doing doing a knot 3 times. That one didn't go right. Normally I would use the loop method of closure, but I don't think that's going to work with this. And I also think I want the extra, you see that? That's really messy, which is great. And yeah, I'm just going to cross stitch on here. I wired the dark brown because the piece that I picked out, the polka dot piece, most of the stitching on there has been done in dark browns. There's a black on there too. And I don't want these to be perfect, these stitches either. I want them a bit higgledy-piggledy. I'm not even pulling it tight. So yeah, I think I'm only going to do 3 and then I might leave the hole a little bit open. Again, I just wanted some texture. Fraying, fabric, thread, all that stuff kind of screams texture to me. When it said please touch, I mean, oh my gosh, I love texture in journals. I love fabric in journals. I probably put too much fabric on some of my journals. I have had someone say, you know, I love your journals, but the fabric, like, there's so much of it, like, would it get in the way of using it or whatever? That was like years ago. I think everyone kind of knows that that's my style now. So yeah, and I was like, I don't know, like, I just like fabric. You've got to make what speaks to you, don't you? Although funny enough, a lot of the journals all own. I haven't necessarily got a lot of fabric. Right, I just did a loop, went underneath one of the threads and a loop. I'm going to leave a bit of that thread and I want to open it up because again, I want that kind of feel. There's so many threads here because there's the stitching threads, there's the threads from the fabric. I mean, there's just so much, it's yummy. It's just yummy. So let me show you that now. So you can see it's got the stitches, but it's still, there's still an open bit. So it's not completely stitched shut. Can you see that? I love that. I love that. It just adds a bit of texture. So now we've got this, and this is going to be our pad. So what I need for this is I need some papers. So I've just pulled out a load of scrap papers. They can't be bigger than this. And I don't want them perfect. So I will be ripping down the edge. I will be also walnut staining these up. Yeah, I just thought I really want to make a fabric flip because as soon as I heard polka dots and plaid, firstly, plaid just reminds me of all the Christmas movies. Why is this so dark? Is this my black soot one? Okay, so we're doing it in black soot now. Oh my goodness. I mean, seriously though. Yeah, a lot of the made-for-movie kind of Hallmark movies that my daughter and I enjoy watching at this time of year because, yeah, again, a fun scrap. Look at all the inking on there and it's ripped and torn. It's just a fun scrap. The top needs to be straighter because I need to sew across that. We've got a little bit of this as well, which is some of the parchment paper that I ink up on. Do my inking on. And that as well. Listen to that. You just want to touch that. You just want to be like, oh, what is that? That's interesting. So there's that. Got a bit more, I suppose, normal tea stained. So it looks more fun. Yeah, so a lot of the Hallmark movies that you watch have a lot of plaid in it. And we actually said, one of the movies we watched, oh my gosh, it even had a plaid cat bed. I mean, it was, I think it was the 9 Kittens of Christmas. Yeah, they had a plaid cat bed. I was just like, oh, seriously, we've seen plaid hats, plaid jumpers, plaid shirts, plaid decorations, a plaid food bowl, we saw that, a plaid cat bed. Like, I've never seen so much plaid in my life. I've also got this, but this is also a really fun one. Again, it's just where I've been inking up. Now, it's very white and the rest of it's not white, but I really like the green contrast. So do you know what? I'm going to use it. You could say, well, you can't write on that. Well, you can. You can write over that. You can gesso it. And if I do it so that it's this side, then you've got white on the back, as it were. Oh, it's just so much fun. Yeah, so I said to my daughter jokingly, I was like, okay, do you know what we're going to do next year? Because we often play Hallmark movie bingo, which again is just so much fun. If you haven't done it and you like Hallmark movies and things, like, yeah, it's just so much fun. And we do it, this is now a yearly tradition where we watch Hallmark movies and we get our Hallmark movie bingo and we... didn't ink around that. Have hot chocolate and treats and just spend a whole day watching movies. So that's lovely. That's always good fun. But next year I said I'm actually going to make my own bingo board and it's going to be plaid related. So when I saw this, I almost made it Christmas themed. Now, I am going to, you can see I've put that together. And again, this just invites you to touch. I am going to center it in the middle of the fabric, sort of there. And then what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to stitch again across this top line, or as near as possible as I can get, so that it's got the paper's not there, so that it holds the paper on and still leaves me with enough space for my pocket. So I'm going to go do that and I will be back. Okay guys, so that's it. You can see it's stitched on at the top there. We still have our pocket here. We have this that flips up with all this lovely grungy stitching. We have all these different kind of, oh, that's so soft. I think that's packaging. Different kind of papers. I'm also checking that they are all stuck on, and they are. So yeah, we've got all of that. We've got our stitching down here. I was also wondering if I wanted to like add some, like, I don't know, underneath onto the pocket, like a bit more grunge. I've got some lace. So I've got some of these bits. Where's the other bit of lace gone? Like, I've got this bit of lace that I was wondering about. So let's have a look. It would obviously go under the pad now. It would go to there. And I feel like that also adds something. Do we want it going all the way to the bottom? No, I don't want it going all the way to the bottom. I want it here. And I want this frayed. So that edge is already quite frayed. So let's just fray that up a bit more. That can go there. Like so. So like that. That could go on. But we're not going to see much of the polka dot then, are we? I mean, we've got the polka dot on top, so it's not the worst thing in the world if we don't see it all. Okay, it could go more like that. And we also have some of this fun sort of dyed cheesecloth in this weird crypty grey colour. I know, that's the only what's the word? It's the only, unless I want that underneath to go on front. Oh, maybe I do. Oh, I really like it there though, guys. I do really like it there. And then I'm wondering, I mean, the thread is a dark, well, a brown anyway. So do I need any more than that? I don't think I do. And again, I'm going to stitch through this along that line for the pocket. Okay guys, so I've stitched those on just in one line of stitching. There's so many threads hanging off here. It is fabulous. I will cut the ones off the back though, because yeah. And often I've heard people ask, it's sort of, you know, why make fabric flips? What's the point of a fabric flip in a journal? Like, does it have a purpose? Well, firstly, its main purpose is just to look decorative. I mean, let's not get away from the fact that we are crafters. We want things looking decorative. I've got this cute Tim Holtz girl, but she also gives me slightly creepy vibes. Not creepy in a bad way, just she kind of goes with the theme. So I've got lots of little bits of Tim Holtz ephemera here. And we're just going to layer up bits. And I'm going to grunge these up too, because one, it takes the ink better, and two, it also gives it that texture that you want to touch. Yeah, it's decorative. Like, not everything in your journal, unless that's your style, not everything in your journal has to have a reason. I mean, you know, they're journals. They're both, you have different kinds of journals. You know, you have junk journals and art journals and scrapbooks journals and just journals for writing in, and like there's whole different kinds of journals. So it doesn't really matter. Let me have a look. I've got all these little Tim Holtz bits of ephemera. It doesn't really matter. Like, there's a style out there for everyone. That's the brilliant thing about journals. This does pick up the red, which is quite cute underneath. And I quite like the bitten, you know, it's kind of a bit. Do I have a smaller one? Oh, I do have a smaller one. Maybe a smaller one will work better, I think. So yeah, there's different kinds of journals for different things, and there's journal styles out there for everyone, which is what's so brilliant about journals. And for me, when I'm making a journal, unless it's a custom journal, you know, one of the things that is always in my mind is, how can I make this journal as like pretty and textured as possible? Because that's what I like. So yeah, that's something that's always in my mind. But that's not everyone's style. So first thing for fabric flips, they look pretty. They add texture. They add something to your journals that might be missing, you know? Do I like that? I don't know. So yeah, they add something, a little something. I've also got this word afraid, which I was going to add across it. I mean, I think that's all quite nice. Let's just layer and put stuff down. I'm going to use, hopefully, if it's working, my other tacky glue. Because, if I can find it, sorry. Okay, no, I'm not. I can't find it. So we're going to use this. And I'm going to use a bit of plastic underneath, just in case it goes through to the other side. And the other use for fabric flips is that you can hide more personal things under there. There might be a photo or a personal memory that you really, really, really want to just have a bit private. You know, if someone's just flicking through your journal. Also, they're an interactive element. You know, they add, you flip it up, you can touch it, you can move it. So there is that fun side to them. Do I want it that way around? Yeah, or this way around. Which way do I want it? I know you're going to be screaming at me, but Belle, you're covering up most of the polka dots. That's okay. I know they're there. And we've got the abstract ones underneath. So, like, I'm fine with that. Although I don't want to cover up all the stitching. But when I was thinking of making a fabric flip for this, I was like, okay, I've made a lot of fabric flips. And I like to sometimes put things underneath them, like pockets or pads or stamping or something underneath a fabric flip, so that when you open it, you go, oh, I was not expecting that. Or I just like using fabric flips. Doesn't always have to have something underneath it. But this time I thought, how can I make it more interactive? How can I make it so that you're touching it, but then you like go, oh, but this is here. Oh, but this is here. Oh, you know, how can I do that? And then my immediate thought was, we'll make a pocket. And then for some reason I thought, well, let's make a pad. That's not coming through, so that's good. Which, I don't know. Where do these ideas come from? Don't always know, do we? Let's just add more texture by adding some corrugated card, because we haven't got enough texture on here already. And I may also be adding some texture paste. I am going to see if I want that or not. But I did get it out because I have a dotty stencil which would work really well with the theme, obviously. Don't want another one there. I might not even have the label. I might have that little red number, because that red number picks up the red without needing the label. Let's do that, guys. Yeah, so I thought pocket, that's interactive, and then yeah, just worked on from there. I don't know. My brain's in strange places at the moment. You know, which is understandable. But I did want to get this done because once it got in my brain, I was like, hold on, that's like weird and interesting. And I don't know, maybe someone else has done it. I haven't seen it done on the people that I watch, but that's not to say it's not out there. I often think there's no real original ideas a lot of the time anymore because you're so busy, like everyone, so many crafters out there that it's really hard. Do I want the word afraid? I did. Do we think the gold's too gold? Because I can just put some ink over that and ink it down a little bit, but I kind of wanted the sparkle too. Okay, that's what I picked. That's what we're going for. So that's going there. Lovely. I'll use up most of that, cover up most of that thing now, but there we go. So yeah, there's just threads everywhere, isn't there, guys? I mean, if you don't like threads, this is not the project for you. Well, you can trim all your threads, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So that's on there. And like I said, I have this polka dot stencil. I'm just going to go for it. You're probably shouting, no, Belle, don't do it. You're going to ruin your piece. But if I just use, I'm using the black opaque texture paste. I'm literally just using a tiny bit, because then if I don't like it, there's only a tiny bit on here, if that makes sense. But I wanted to add more texture. More texture, so that you go, oh my gosh, what is that? Can I touch that? Or like, what is that? We've got all the threads, we've got all the fabric, we've got the interactive elements with the pocket and the pad. We've got all the different papers in there. Is it too much, guys? Maybe it is. I don't know. Let's have a look. Lift that very carefully. And this is the stencil. It doesn't has a number down there. THS002. This one is. Right, got a bit on the fabric. That's all right. I feel like we need a little bit here now. I feel like it is it balanced enough? Can we have a little bit up there? What do I want? Do I want a bit up there? No, do you know what? I don't think I do, because we've got all the fabric here and then this picks up this down here. Okay. So I'm not going to make a journaling card for this today. Sorry, I'm just getting a journal that I can show you this in. I'm not going to make a journaling card, but imagine this was a journal. Well, it is a journaling card, but this isn't the one going to be going in there. That would go in there. Hold on, like so. So you would look at this and you'd go, oh, fabric flip, how cute. Full of different things. Feel the texture paste. Feel all the different kinds of fabrics. There's a bit of a hole down here. There's thread, there's stitching. There's bits on here. There's corrugated card. There's all sorts. And then you go, hold on. This is a pad. Oh, brilliant. And then you'd look here and you go, oh, wait a minute. But it's also a pocket. I mean, I think that's fun. I don't know. I just think it's fun. So let me try and find a page where we can put this on. Put it on a fun page. Hold on, guys. Let's just put it here, shall we? I mean, it's going to clash with that. Probably don't want any paper. Let's put it here because it won't clash as much. Okay, so that needs to dry. But that would fit on your page like so. I mean, doesn't that look great in a journal, guys? You've got the whole flip up, because I would attach it at the top there. So you've got the whole flip up. You've got the pocket in here with the journaling card. Then you've got all this writing space. If you really wanted to and you didn't want this as a flip, you could make it into another pocket, because you could glue this side, and this side. And then you would have a pocket here, and a flip there. I'm just saying it's a fabric flip because I like it, and I haven't made a fabric flip like this before. So that's what it looks like in a journal, guys. So let me know what you think down below. I'm really happy with how this looks. And yeah, that is day 18. Plaid and polka dots, please touch. There's so much to touch on here. Like when that texture paste dry, there's that. There's the stitching with the hole that I just keep wanting to like poking. Just keep wanting going, ah. There's all the different types of fabric with the cheesecloth and the trim, the fraying, all the stitching. We've got sort of abstract polka dots here. There's polka dots. Can you actually see those? I'm hoping you can see those on that fabric. There's polka dots. I'm hoping they're picking up. Little white ones on like a cream background. And then we've got, I mean, how can you not want to touch the different papers, like, and the noise? So there's noise, there's polka dots, there's all sorts. That's it, guys. I will be back soon. I do have an idea for Nature's Treasure as well. Recycled fairies, kind of giving me more pause. But that's it for now. That's day 8, prompt 18 of Defember. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will be back again soon with another video, fingers crossed. And yeah, until next time, guys, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of crafty fun. Bye for now.